Hello, Mount Rudmore here, and I am back talking about Big Brother. Got a lot of stuff I want to talk about. First of all, the Sunday night episode, which actually kind of filled in some of the holes from before the feeds turned on. So that is definitely something that I want to talk about, and then I want to talk about some of the things that have happened on the feeds since my last stream on Saturday night. There's been a lot because this house is off to a roaring start. By which I mean mostly two people, although I guess maybe now three people, are giving me a lot to talk about already. Four people are giving me a lot to talk about already. So, yeah, let's just get into it. I do want to start with the episode, but actually, there's one thing I want to say first. It's a bit of a correction for something I said in my last stream. I said that this was the first season since BB13 where a woman won the Week 1 HOH and the Week 1 veto competitions. That isn't entirely accurate because I did not know this for sure, and I asked Twitter. And first I saw BB8, but then someone said BB13 if you count Rachel winning them both. I'm like, well, yeah, I do count that. But what was left out to me was the fact that Rachel won it alongside Brendan, so doesn't really count. So yeah, BB8 was the last time that the HOH and veto winners, week one, were women. So yeah, just want to get that out of the way. Now on to the episode. Um, we get the introduction, in it's episode 3, and we're only just now getting the around the couch introductions for everybody. Um, and one thing I noticed about this year is that a lot of people were interrupting each other during the intro. I wouldn't say it to their faces, but in my head I'd be thinking, "Shut up, wait your turn," or "You already had your turn," whatever the case may be. So I found that interesting. Like Tucker was the first one to stand up and introduce himself. He said he's a cook. Lisa stands up and is like, "I'm a chef." So yeah, that's where it started between those two. So yeah, we get the introductions. We get a lot of people interrupting each other. We see Matt and Kenny bonding early. Kenny says that he was in the Air Force. And going back to Cedric clocking his tattoo, Cedric did say he's either a cop or he was in the military, so it is wise of Kenny to go the military route. Matt says that, well, Kenny says that he was in the military. He was in the Air Force, and Matt said his dad was in the Air Force and then became a cop. Interesting. Everybody's like right there. They're, I mean, I guess not everybody, but two people so far are like really close to figuring out Kenny's a cop. Then we see in the unicorn room, it's Rabina's in there, and she's asking Chelsea, MJ, and Brooklyn, why don't female alliances ever work? She immediately follows us up by saying, "Oh, we don't want to work with Angela. She's a little too chaotic, a little too messy. Like this is kind of why they don't work." And on top of that, Chelsea in the diary room is like she's kind of weighing her options a little. So that's another reason they don't work. Um, this I found to be a really interesting conversation. Leah is lamenting to Brooklyn that there aren't any chubby guys this season. And I am really regretting not trying out because I think you could see through my shirt, I got some man boobs going on. Okay? I am a chubby guy. If I was in that house, I'd be the first guy Leo would be looking at. Oh, why didn't I apply? Dang it. So then we get the bathroom incident. This is really kind of. I mean, we've talked about Angela and Matt having their fight already, but watching the feeds and then watching this on the episode the next day, it's kind of like Memento, where you're seeing it in reverse and you're piecing it all together. So now we're seeing where it started. They're in the bathroom, and Angela is just going on and on and on about how Matt is going to be in a showmance. And this is making him visibly uncomfortable. And he confides in Kenny about it, like, I don't like her talking that way about me. It's like it's putting a target on my back already, and I just got here. Uh, Leah and Tucker both think that Lisa is really fake. She's like, do you want edible glitter on your food? I'm just going to give you edible glitter on your food. Oh, you want some of this edible glitter on your face? Yeah, that's the energy Lisa's bringing to the table right off the bat. And yeah, they think she's really fake about it. Like she's just kind of currying favor. I don't know if she's tried to curry favor with actual curry yet, but I'm not going to put it past her. So we finally get confirmation as to the powers, like what they do. We already kind of knew how Quinn's worked. I mean, sorry, we already kind of knew how MJ's worked. So it's like she has America's veto. She she can use it when she wants. It'll take somebody off the block, including herself, if she so chooses. But it won't be the HOH who names the replacement. It'll be America. And we got confirmation that America will vote and their choice will be revealed on the eviction episode. So, on top of the AI arena causing chaos, there's also this. So, yeah, eviction nights early this season have potential to be an absolute mess. So, it'll be fun trying to keep up with it. And then we learn properly what Quinn's power is, the deep fake HOH. Now, this one's huge. It strips the HOH of power and makes the nominations for the HOH. And it will also make a deep fake of the HOH. And I guess it'll play on that TV that Ainsley keeps popping up on. And that deep fake will be spreading whatever misinformation Quinn wants it to spread. MJ has a power that can save her life. Quinn has a power that can ruin someone's life. So, yeah, almost universally agreed that Quinn came out on top in the power department. Like, there is a way for MJ's power to backfire. And in fact, a lot of people would probably see to it that it would backfire. Because, like, if she were to, especially if she were to use it on Matt, they just put up another one of her close allies, which at this point would probably be Leah. So, yeah, at least that's who the feedsters would vote for because the three of them have basically become attached at the hip. And also, we get confirmation that the AI arena will be live. It will be on the eviction episode. And if the two mascots, Chelsea and Cedric, are nominated, remember they can't compete for HOH or veto. So if they're nominated, they can't compete in the veto. But if they are nominated, they will be eligible for the AI arena if they were to be nominated. So we get to the HOH competition. It's called New Rule. It has multiple rounds, and each round has a new rule than the previous one. So first up, the 14 eligible contestants. By the way, Cedric and Chelsea, it was funny. They were dressed as like computer chips. That was their mascot costume, and It was great. They both really got into it. I am glad that two energetic people got this punishment. So yeah, it does make it a little more interesting. But yes, the other 14 people, their first challenge is they gotta get into four groups of three and pick a spot on the board. Of course, you may know that 4 times 3 is 12, and there will be two left out. And those two that get left out will be out of the competition. And it was Tucker and MJ who got left out. So then we get the next round. It's sliding a disc. It's basically shuffleboard. You have to get it on the part, like there's numbers 1 through 15, and you just got to get it on that part. And you can't go off the edge because that's worth 0. And the winners of this round were Kenny, Joseph, and I forget who else was in this group, but they win and they take out the group that had the second highest score. I probably should have taken notes for this part. I thought I'd remember, foolishly. It was Chemo's group. I remember Chemo was in it because he's lamenting, we got the second highest score, so of course they take us out. And then the next round, the teammates compete against each other, and they got to slide it again, but now it's a different kind of grid thing. It's a bunch of numbers just kind of scattered about, and it's just whoever lands on the highest number. And these numbers are like, the lowest number I saw was 19. I think the highest was 30, although I guess it would make sense if it was 16 through 30 because the first part was 1 through 15. So I don't know for sure. So they all do that. They compete against each other, and it's Kenny, Leah, and Angela who get the highest scores from their respective groups. So those are the three competing for HOH. And right off the bat, I'm thinking, wow. In our draft, we left two people off because we thought there was going to be a 17th house guest that was a past contestant. And we left Kenny and Leah out of the draft. And they're both competing for the first HOH. But it doesn't work out that way because Angela, who my brother picked, wins the first HOH. And right off the bat, it's like, okay, we actually have equitable competitions this season. The first HOH was won by a 50-year-old woman. That is pretty insane. And in the running was a 52-year-old man and a skinny little woman. Like, Leah does not look like much of a physical competitor. She's a little tiny. So, yeah, that was a little wild and a real turnaround from last season, where that was just one of the many problems I had with it. Oh, but one little thing about the final part, it's similar to the part right before it where the teammates are competing against each other, but now each even number is worth 0, so they have to land on an odd number. And Leah got 26, so she was out. Angela got 19, and Kenny went off the board. So, yeah, Angela won, but we knew that already. Those of us watching the feeds knew already, of course. Angela tells Cedric, Chelsea, and Joseph that she's good with them and T-Core. Matt is going on about his mistrust of Angela, and Joseph and Chelsea are just kind of sitting there, soaking it in. Joseph tells Angela about it because he wants to be the first one to tell her. She's probably going to find out, so he figures if I can be the first one to tell her, then I've actually built some trust with her. So that was a smart move. I respect that. Quinn tells Angela about his power, and they solidify their duo as the BB Guns. Clever. Although I think that might be a better group name instead of just a duo name. It reminds me of in BB23 when they divide up into the Jokers, Kings, Queens, and Aces. And I was thinking, why don't the Kings call themselves the BB Kings? Like after BB King, the legendary musician. But uh, none of them thought of it, unfortunately. My ear is itchy, so I'm just scratching it with my headphone. So Angela's having her talks. Cam, Leah, MJ, Tucker, they all suggest Lisa. And Angela goes and tries to clear the air with Matt. He gets kind of defensive in the conversation. And then he says, I mean, I'll have two chances to take myself off. So you couldn't get me out if you wanted to, is basically the gist of what he was saying. And says, even on top of that, he thinks he has what it takes to campaign his way off the block in the worst case scenario. Like, you are making a lot of bold claims to the HOH. Like, you're kind of implicitly threatening her game, too. It's like, you can't get me. And, the implication there is like, but I can get you. Kind of read between the lines a little bit. That's really kind of what he's saying here. And then Angela does the nominees, Kenny, Chemo, and Lisa, and she cries while giving the nominees. And I'm like, okay, come on. You can't show weakness when you're the first HOH. Otherwise, you're going to be the second boot. That was Frenchie's problem. That was Riley's problem. He wasn't the second boot, but it was Smelvis's problem. I mean, okay, I guess his problem wasn't looking weak. His problem was looking like an a-hole. Yes, that was a sassy sip. Um, okay, so those are all my thoughts on the episode, the Sunday episode, last night's episode. So now let's get to the feeds. A lot of people seem to want Chemo to stay, and that doesn't surprise me. He just kind of ended up on the block by accident. It seems he was just sort of like Angela's reasoning was shown for Kenny and Lisa. It wasn't really shown for Chemo. He just sort of ended up there. So yeah, a lot of people are like, we don't want Chemo to go. So it's looking like Chemo is in a pretty decent spot. By the way, these notes are starting from after my previous stream, which was Saturday night. So this part is Saturday night up until the start of this stream, really, because I was reading some stuff that was going down just a couple minutes before I started. Dang it, do I really have the hiccups right now? Okay, Chelsea and Brooklyn agree. Matt is their primary target. Kenny is the backup. Matt goes if it's the two of them. Like if Chemo wins his way off, Matt versus Kenny, they vote Matt out. And I'm thinking, okay, seems nice and simple. That's what I would do. That's what I was thinking, really. Um, Tucker, again, really does not like Lisa. He wanted to be the cook, and a lot of people are saying that they don't like Lisa's cooking. And it's gotten to the point that they suspect she's lying about her career and that she's secretly a lawyer or something. And the fact that she's trying to be the house cook and they don't like her food, it's giving BB24 Nicole. She was also a cook, and she wasn't very good. They didn't seem to like her food, and from what it looked like on the feeds, her food did not look very good at all. Like, you really got to be able to back this up. And honestly, with just how flighty in general Lisa is, like, yes, she has the veto, but she's she's acting like she's the HOH, and she's just really flighty and kind of out of it. And it's giving early Hell's Kitchen boot, the Gordon Ramsay show, which I also watch. And yeah, she strikes me as someone who would be voted. I was about to say voted out, then I changed it to booted, and it just sort of combined as a voted. She would be booted from HK pretty quick with those cooking skills. Cedric and Chelsea talk about an alliance called the Barber Shop because they're the ones doing the cuts. It's them, Cam, Brooklyn, Matt, MJ, and Leah. They're done with the collective. Cedric says Angela didn't think that was real because Chelsea was in it. Chelsea wants to confront Angela about that. She reaffirms that she's with the Pentagon, which, by the way, apparently they have to change that name, but they haven't yet. But they agree to hold out on dropping the collective until the end of the week. Probably smart. Stay in the HOH's good graces. At least wait until after the veto when she can't put you up. Lisa tells Angela that Matt should be put up. She shouldn't put up another woman. Fair. Says that Matt and Kenny nominated together is the best case scenario. No, sorry, she didn't say this. This is what I said. Matt and Kenny nominated together is the best scenario because it's a main target and a backup. So it really is kind of a can't lose situation. So here we go. This is going to be annoying. Angela kind of forcibly by Matt, apologizes to Matt for bringing his mom into her rant. I would like to point out that he brought his mom up first, saying, "You're going to do this? My mom is watching." And then that's when Angela kind of went off. So he brought his mom into it first. Just saying. But she does apologize for it. And how does he respond to her apology? By accepting it? No, he just keeps bringing it up. He's just so incensed about it. Like, I have been wronged and I'm going to make it your problem for the rest of your life. The way this conversation goes, and it goes on a while, but it does kind of seem like they're coming to be on good terms. And I'm thinking Angela's replacement nominee might be getting a little unclear now. She asked that if not nominating him would mean he wouldn't nominate her. You would think he would say, yeah, obviously. Even if he doesn't mean it. You can lie to pre-jurors. They're not voting on the jury. Doesn't matter. You'd think he would say that. He doesn't say that. He says, I can't promise I won't put you up. Like, if it's good for my game. And I'm thinking two things. One, he's an idiot. Two, I'm still worried that she's not going to put him up now because of everything else he said. And sure enough, they start talking about not putting him up out of respect. Angela seems to owe him a lot, like more than just an apology. She owes him an apology tour and performative actions. So he suggests putting up either Tucker or T-Core. At this point, I'm thinking, how do these boring muscle bros always have the ability to manipulate their way into the outcome the fandom doesn't want? He leaves the room, and Angela goes, "Are you kidding me?" Whoa, that's a relief. That is a real relief. Well played, Angela. She had me fooled. I thought she was buying into it. But this is where she kind of comes off the rails a little bit because she's Angela. She can't stay on the rails for too long. She hopes that Lisa will share her power with her. Let's recap. Angela knows Quinn has the power. They were all told that one person in each group would get an upgrade. Or at least it's pretty obvious to figure that out. Quinn has the upgrade. Quinn was in the same group as Lisa. How can Lisa have the upgrade if Quinn has it? Like, the only way this is possible is if they were told it's like across all competitions. But even then, if they all start talking and find out that there were four different competitions, then that won't really work. So I'm just sort of assuming that they all know that there's one upgrade and one downgrade per move-in group. And like Angela doesn't seem to get that. Like, she doesn't seem to realize that if Quinn has it, Lisa can't have it, and she needs to be looking at her own move-in group. It's one of them. And she knows it wasn't Cedric because he got the downgrade. Anyway, she hopes Lisa shares her power with her to help get Matt out. And hopes Tikor and Tucker don't agree to be a pawn. And this is another thing. She doesn't have to do that anyway, even if they do. If you want to put Matt up, put him up. It's nothing stopping you. In fact, it's a good move for your game to at least try. I get the AI arena kind of throws things into limbo a little bit, but it's worth the effort, is it not? And the spiral just gets worse from there. She sees Matt with Cam and Tikor, assumes they're convincing her to go on the block, and she thinks now that Cam is fully with Matt and just begs Tikor, don't volunteer. Please don't volunteer yourself. Please don't do it. And I'm like, so what if she does? First of all, she's not going to. There's no reason to suspect that. You got this in your head somehow. I don't even remember how she got this in her head, but even if it does happen, you don't have to put her up. Again, you you don't have to. So after that conversation, Cam and Tikor talk to Angela. They don't even realize anything was wrong because they were really kind of not even talking to Matt all that much. They were just, I don't even know if they were talking. They were just kind of in the same general area as Matt. So she talks to them, and there's no mention of Tikor volunteering. And Angela interprets this as Tikor agreeing and not wanting to talk about it. And it's almost like Angela thinks she has to put Tikor up now. I was here for the mess. I was here for the chaos. What I'm not here for is the stupidity. Okay? And I know everyone last season was like, "Oh my god, Izzy's so chaotic. She's the best." But honestly, Izzy lost me when I realized she's just chaos without much in the way of actual gameplay. Like gameplay, the chaos is her gameplay. There isn't much of a strategic mind in the back of it, or at least not enough that the chaos doesn't override it. Like Izzy was not the target the way she was evicted. She talked herself into being the target. And Angela's kind of going down the same path. She's just letting her paranoia get to her, and it's just going to all implode on her. And I'm just thinking, if you put T-Core up, your game is really in trouble because a lot of people are going to be shocked by that. A lot of people are not going to agree with it. And a lot of people are going to be mad at you. Like, already, some people are kind of wanting Angela to go next. And if she puts T-Core up, that would just mean more people would want her out next. Matt continues to be stupid. He tells Tucker that he volunteered him as the replacement nominee. And, Tucker's just kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever. Fine, I got that dog in me. It's funny. Earlier, Taryn was talking about how he doesn't have his Tucker impression down yet. Well, I'm from near Boston. I've met plenty of guys like Tucker, so If I want to do a Tucker impression, I can do a pretty good one pretty fast. Yeah, Terrence from like San Diego. Yeah, it's much easier for me to mimic a Boston. I don't even want to say a Boston accent, a Boston personality. So yeah, he just kind of plays it off. Then he's venting to Cam about it later, and Tucker just wants Matt out. And Cam agrees that Matt has shot himself in the foot twice in the first 6 days they've been in the house. Tucker hasn't been feeling Matt for a while, and it's very refreshing that these two kind of bro-y alpha personalities did not end up being bros. Like, we need more of that. We need bros that don't gel. Like, too often, they just get in there, and on the basis of just being bros, they bro out and usually comp out, and they just stick around for a long time, and sometimes go on to win the game. And it's like, Tucker wants Matt out, so it's annoying to see Angela be the one that's waffling so much. Tucker later tells Angela Matt will go if he's up on the block, and Angela once again says, only if T Core doesn't volunteer. Why Angela can't let this go is absolutely mind boggling to me. Like, it's just like she's been inceptioned to think that this has to be how things go. And she still won't directly talk to T Core about this, and T Core won't talk to her about it because T Core doesn't know this is a thing. How could she? T Core seems like she has a really good head on her shoulders. She doesn't seem like the kind of person who would figure out that someone is expecting her to either volunteer or not volunteer as a pawn. T-Core is probably just figuring, of course I'm not volunteering myself. That would be stupid. But the way this one goes is that she kind of eventually comes around to just needing confirmation from T-Core. Like, she needs to hear T-Core say, I want to be a pawn. Otherwise, she won't do it. So, this is where I started to kind of relax a little bit. It's like, okay, it'll only be if T Core says this, which she won't. So we're almost in the clear. Quinn and Brooklyn talk. Both distrust Lisa because who doesn't at this point? And they think she has the power. Now, of course, Quinn knows, but Brooklyn, um, Brooklyn does not know. So it's reasonable for Brooklyn to be making this assumption. And of course, Quinn's just kind of playing along because he's not going to say, "Oh yeah, I have the power." Like, he would love nothing more than for someone else to get the blame for it. But yeah, they both distrust Lisa, and again, it's just like that's just sort of going around. No one really trusts her too much at this point. Tucker tells Angela again they have the votes to take out Matt, and I'm just like, I sincerely hope this one sticks. So we get to Monday morning, veto meeting day. Matt tells MJ what his next offer to Angela is going to be. Drop everyone you're working with and work with me. Even MJ is like, that sounds kind of creepy. And I'm thinking, you know, MJ's still close to Matt, but I don't know if she's willing to waste her power on him. So I'm thinking if he does go up, I think he'll stay up because I feel like MJ's just going to want to use this for herself. Like, she's known this guy for this is day 7, so, you know, she's not going to waste it on him. Not when he's proven to be this much of a mess. She's still by his side, but it really would not surprise me if she's just kind of in her mind being like, I think I gotta just start letting this guy go. The thing is, her and Leah would both be doing much better game-wise if they let Matt go. Like, I think MJ and Leah might even have power duo potential. So, yeah, letting Matt go might be the best thing for both of them. And then if that's her closest ally, like if Leah ends up on the block, MJ can use it, save Leah. She's safe. Like she can't be put up in her place. And then they both stay in the game and they can both keep doing whatever they're gonna do. So yeah, I think MJ and Leah would work best as a duo. Because God knows Leah is not doing great being as close to Matt as she is. Like a lot of people are being let down by Leah. A lot of people expected a lot more. I didn't at first, but I kind of came around thinking like, oh, okay, maybe. But I'm losing faith in her fast, despite the fact that I greatly appreciate that she's a chubby chaser and I am chubby, and I would chase her, but I'd probably run out of breath. So Angela comforts Kenny. He is missing his daughter's 8th birthday, and he says he's okay with Tucker going up. Like, yeah, well, from Boston, but it's like, yeah, I get it. Oh boy. Kenny just is not reading this house very well at all. It's kind of sad, really. Angela and Tucker have another meeting. They confirm that they are loyal to each other. I just realized I wrote the wrong version of "there" in my phone, and that's going to bother me now that I've noticed, so I'm going to correct it. They're loyal to each other, and more importantly, they confirm that Matt is going up. And this is when I really start to feel relieved. Quinn tells Chemo about his power. I'm thinking, okay, as far as we know, Quinn has told 2 people. I think that should be the maximum. But Quinn tells Chemo about his power and what he wants to do with it. And I gotta say, I'm glad Quinn told somebody because I am loving this strategy. He wants to win HOH first and then hijack his own HOH and put up 2 power players, well, 3 power players, I guess. And he will blame Lisa. Like the deep fake will be Lisa. If it goes down this way, it will make him an all-time legend. Like that is an obscene amount of power to have. And he seems to want to use it in a way that will be absolutely epic. And I'm here for it. So I'm like, okay, let's make this happen. But worst case scenario, just make it to week 4. If he's not HOH, use it anyway. You can still frame Lisa for it. But hijacking his own HOH, no one will suspect that. And I kind of want to see it play out that way. So that would be pretty great. So we get to the veto meeting. As expected, Lisa uses the veto on herself. And after much anticipation, Matt is nominated. Matt is the replacement nominee. So right now the nominees are Kenny, Chemo, and Matt. They will compete in the AI arena. One of them will save himself, and then of the other 2, one of them will be voted out as normal. Matt starts telling Quinn, I feel so bad for Chemo and Kenny because now for the next 3 days, they're just going to feel hopeless, like they have no chance against me. Now, at this point in time, I am thinking whether Matt stays or goes is a win-win. If he stays, we still get the drama between him and Angela for another week at least. If he goes, we get to see the look on his face that he wasn't as great as he thought he was. And I, for one, would really enjoy that. So very much. From here, I kind of started going back and forth on whether or not I wanted Matt to stay because a lot has gone down, and I'm just sort of ping ponging between whether I want Matt to go or whether I want Kenny to go. Under no circumstances do I want Chemo to go. I just want Chemo to win the AI arena and be done with it. That would be the best. I say we throw the poor guy a bone. So Matt is talking to Lisa, and he's talking to Lisa in a way that's suggesting he's more upset that he didn't get a good apology like Angela promised she would do in her speech, her renomination speech. He's more upset that he didn't get that he didn't get a good apology. There was an apology, but he didn't like it. And he seems to be more upset about that than the fact that he was put on the block in the first place. I mean, you got a one-on-one apology that you kind of forced out of her, and then you kept going over and over about how wronged you were by her. What more do you need, bro? What more do you need? It's just unreal delusion and entitlement. And this is when I started thinking, you know what? I think it'd be better to just let this guy go. His ego is A, keeping him from thinking he's in danger, and B, coddling him with perpetual victim mode. So, yeah, that's how I feel about Matt in this moment. But there are more moments to come. He also tells Lisa that everyone thinks she's working with Angela. Lisa's like, Angela put me up. Why would we be working together? And, this is a doozy, he calls her selfish for using the veto because now he's nominated. He clearly does not know this show. He's never seen it before. He doesn't know how it works. He thinks it's all just supposed to be kumbaya. Like, one of the things I noticed preseason was Kenny saying he's just going to target the sensitive people. Matt is the most sensitive little wimp this game has ever had. Just his entitlement and his whininess. It's like, I'm okay if someone cries seeing their friend being nominated. I'm not gonna blame anyone for crying if they are nominated. It's a natural human reaction. The amount of entitlement Matt has is not natural. Angela sees Matt talking to Lisa. She assumes it's because she has one of the powers. Again, she doesn't seem to realize that Quinn having it means Lisa can't have it. And it's honestly at this point I'm starting to wonder if they actually don't know that it's one upgrade and downgrade per moving group. Like that's the only thing that makes sense here. Matt tells Lisa her not picking him for veto means she's with Angela. It's reminding me of the meme from one of the Addams Family movies, where Wednesday is at camp and they're doing like a lifeguard training drill, and the one girl's like, "I'll be the victim," and then Wednesday goes, "All your life." That is Matt. He will be a victim all his life, no matter how great things work out for him. Like you know, he'll do just fine in his life, even if he's the first boot from the show. He will do just fine. I wouldn't even rule out him getting it in America's favorite player sympathy vote just because Angela was so mean to him. And yet, despite all of that, he's still always going to be a victim in his own eyes. So, this is my last update that I wrote before I started my stream, because this was the last big thing that was going down. Angela tells Kenny, "You go in the AI arena and you win. You kick that boy's butt." And he's like, I don't have it in me. I can't do it to Matt. And Angela's like, well, that's very disappointing. And they go back and forth for a while. And Kenny doesn't seem to mind that he's on a show that a lot of people would kill to be on, and he's just already given up on day 7. And he was trying to explain to him, like, you're here. You have to do something big. He's I got a great family back home. I don't need this. And it's like, why are you here? You knew when your daughter's birthday was. You knew it was going to conflict with Big Brother. Like, did you only see last season and think it always started in August? Is that is that the deal here? Like, you just watched it last year and thought, hey, I could do that. No, probably not. You knew when your daughter's birthday was, and now you're feeling bad about it. Angela says she made the right choice putting him up because he doesn't want to be here. And this is around the time that I'm starting to come around to thinking, okay, maybe Matt should stay and Kenny should go because Kenny doesn't really care. And that is honestly an even faster way to lose my respect, like beyond being a jerk. Like, I at least respect the drama and chaos that Matt has brought to the table thus far. Kenny has brought nothing to the table, and he just wants to go home already. I don't think he ever wanted to be here, to be honest, because he hasn't really played very much. Sure enough, Kenny then goes outside, tells Matt, MJ, and Lisa, it's okay if you send me home. I feel guilty about missing my daughter's birthday. Again, should have thought about that before. It's, it's dumb. It's really dumb. So many people would kill for this opportunity, and he's given up week 1. You're not doing Boston proud, Kenny. I'm sorry. Ever heard of Boston Strong quitting this early? That's weak. All right. Time to check for updates. Let's see if this thing spiraled any more than it already has. Okay, nothing on my main timeline. Time to check BB updates. Oh, wow. I just suddenly got told I have 4 nominations. Nominations. Notifications. I'm deep in Big Brother mode, in case you couldn't tell. Like, just look at my Twitter feed and you'll see just how deep down the Big Brother rabbit hole I am at this point. Angela tells Quinn and T-Core, disappointing that Kenny's so quick to give up. Says Chemo is handling it like a rock star because he's not only a nominee, he's also a have not. Quinn does a cam talk. It seems like he's been trying to do these, but they keep cutting away from him. But this one, they seem to focus on him. He says he's confused why Kenny is saying, that is my boy. I'll fall on the sword. F no. Do not throw away your game for anyone. Angela's pulling up life coach style. You gotta believe in yourself. And then Quinn says, this is not going well for me. I am messy. I am a messy player. I am saying yes too much. If I could shut up. I mean, I think it's smart to say yes to an alliance because what are you going to say no to an alliance? And it means you're playing a good social game that people want to work with you. But it's the fact he's told. I mean, I don't think it's too big of a problem that he's told Chemo, but the fact that he's told Angela, the messiest person in the house, he can really, really find himself in trouble. Like, he would have to use that power to save Angela to just confirm that she'll never rat him out. Lisa tells Chemo, if you and Kenny are on the block, I am voting for you to stay. You have my word on that. You or Matt have to take yourself off the block. Okay, it seems like Lisa wants Kenny to go more now. She probably doesn't like him quitting, basically. Wait a minute. Lisa to Chemo. At this point, until I get confirmation, I cannot commit if it's you and Matt because I don't know what I'm going to do yet. It's based on information that I just received that I did not have yesterday. Maybe you should have kept that one to yourself, Lisa. I mean, I haven't heard anyone else say that I want Chemo to go. Like, if it's Chemo versus Matt, we gotta vote Chemo out. So I don't know where Lisa's getting this from. All right, now I'm checking the BB26 hashtag. Yeah, just a lot of people talking about how Kenny's basically throwing in the towel already. Oh, this is a good line from Quinn. Can't we just stab each other in the back instead of throwing ninja stars from 50 feet away? That's a good one. Check which one? Which one do I want to check? Hamster watch. Are always pretty reliable. Okay. If Hamster Watch hasn't had much in the last hour or so, then probably not much happening right now. So I am going to wrap this stream up. Thank you to my one viewer for watching. You can follow me on Twitter at NickGrimesYT. I have links to my Twitch channel and my YouTube channel there. I post all my streams on YouTube. And just follow me on Twitter to get my thoughts on Big Brother stuff as it happens. So, yeah, that'll do it for this stream. I will see you next time. Peace out.